It's been a little while since I reacted to some Star Wars lore. This one's gonna be a banger, because I don't know nothing about the actual, like, dark lore of Star Wars. I just know about the movie lore and, like, some of the video game lore, which I'm gonna be diving into. I might even do a Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 series on my gaming channel, link down there in the description if you'd like to check that out. I mostly play old games. The scariest Star Wars character you never knew. Yeah, probably. I don't know very many characters. Unless they're, like, in the movies. Not the new ones. I haven't seen any of the new ones. Like, the 7, 8, 9. Nope, not a single one of them. Or any of the side stories. Haven't seen any of the shows. Haven't seen Andor.
Few realize the quiet man smoking a hookah pipe at Chalmun's was actually a near-immortal killer.
What?
This is the chilling tale of Dannik Jerriko, an unassuming but dangerous patron
Dannik Jerriko. I've heard that name before.
Of Mos Eisley's cantina, who would go down in legend as the Eater of Luck. There's not much information about Jerriko in canon.
That guy?
He's identified simply as a mutant human with no elaborate or interesting backstory to speak of. One tidbit that does exist in canon is a brief but appreciated offer. While calmly smoking his pipe, Jerriko offers to eliminate the belligerent and annoying Dr. Cornelius Evazan for the bartender Wooher. That's before Obi-Wan Kenobi took care of things. And thank you to those who commented on my Wooher video for correcting my pronunciation on his name. Legends Continuity does a good job explaining things and providing more context. For starters, he's not a mutant.
What is Legends? I don't know anything about Legends. I might have to do a deep dive into what Legends is after this one. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow.
He's an alien, an Anzati, near-immortal vampiric beings from the mid-rim world of Anzat. In BBY-0, he's already over 1,000 galactic standard years old. Anzati aren't like the vampires of Earth myths. Their life is prolonged by consuming brain matter. Jerriko calls it the soup of life.
So they're like vampire zombie things. That's cool. I didn't know that was a thing in the Star Wars universe.
Fangs, Anzati have small proboscis-like organs hidden in their cheeks. These organs worm their way up the noses of the prey of the Anzati and suck the fluids and brain tissue out of their skulls. Jerriko feeds on brains, but he's not a zombie. He's cool, calculating, and selective in his prey. He has a code as he chooses to feed exclusively on the dregs of—
He's a smart zombie.
Society, murderers, thieves, and violent offenders. These targets aren't chosen for altruistic reasons, however. They are chosen more because they are less likely to be missed. He turned his feeding preferences into a lucrative career, being hired out by crime lords to take out their targets, since he would always pull it off, not draw attention, and never left a body behind to be discovered. These types of jobs earned him the nickname the Eater of Luck, and even the simpler, Death. There was one client who complained about the high cost of Jerriko's services. Jerriko brutally murdered the complainer, likely ate his brains, and
you're making me look bad, man. You gotta go.
Then no one questioned the cost of his services again.
Good.
Like many early Legends characters, Jerriko also showed some signs of—
Like, are you seriously gonna cross the Brain Eater? Who has not failed a mission yet? Like, really?
Force attunement. This was actually fairly common in Anzati, who consumed the soup of life from other Force-sensitive beings. I assume this meant they would take in a measure of their midi-chlorians. This, combined with
the soup of life, is a crazy way to call somebody's brains.
Very long lifespan, had his senses dialed up for stalking his prey. On top of hunting the dregs of society, he got a thrill out of hunting those who were more formidable. He thought the more difficult the hunt made the victory that much sweeter, and looked down on other Anzati who took the easy way out. It was noted by other Chalmun's regulars that even the most dangerous gave Jerriko his space for fear that he'd turn his hunger on them. If you're getting value or entertainment out of any of my transmissions, it would mean a lot if you would join the Remnant and subscribe.
I'll do that.
BBY-0 saw Jerriko on Tatooine. He heard how lawless it was, how it, and Mos Eisley in particular, was that wretched hive of scum and villainy that Obi-Wan mentions. This was as enticing as a Michelin star restaurant to him. When Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi entered, Jerriko's heightened senses kicked in. He smelled very potent soup of life. Jerriko attempted to use his limited telepathic abilities to probe the mind of the old man and was surprised to find that he was repelled. This was not something that he was used to experiencing.
Yeah, that really shows the power of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Don't fuck with Obi-Wan.
was the first Jedi that he had encountered in 100 years. Jerriko was able to look into the mind of the young
and too bad for him, it was one of the most powerful Jedis of all time.
farm boy. His essence tempted Jerriko like he had not been tempted in years. Before he could make a move, he was distracted by Han Solo. Jabba the Hutt had placed a large bounty on the smuggler's head, and he would be worthy prey indeed. Before he could act on either of these targets, a lightsaber warded off 2 thugs, another bounty hunter was gunned down, and his 2 potential meals left together. He stuffed down his frustration and kept a cool front looking for his next move. That may be all that we see of Jerriko in A New Hope, but his legend is just beginning. A handful of months after the Battle of Yavin, Jerriko took an unlikely job. He was hired to protect a pair of orphans, 2 teens called Task and Zach Aranda. He would also be looking after their guardian, Maman Hul. The 3 were being stalked by an Imperial assassin. This happened on Tatooine, and the employer was actually fully aware of Jerriko's biology and how dangerous he was. The Imperial assassin in question was called Damassari and didn't know what she was getting into. Damassari stalked
her well, too bad for you, man.
Her prey from Tatooine all the way to Nespis 8, a spaceborne colony in the Outer Rim. She didn't know that she was being stalked by a far more dangerous predator. Jerriko waited until she made her move and sprung into action, cutting her down.
Man, I wish that there wasn't so much Star Wars content that, like, I want to read the books. There's just too many. I do not have the time. I want to get into Star Wars. I want to get into Warhammer. There's just too much. There's too much lore for too many things. It goes too deep. That I want it all.
Before she could react to this threat that she had no idea was lurking behind her. The trio were saved and never fully realized how much of a monster just saved their lives. A few more years of touring the galaxy, feeding on anyone who piqued his interest, he eventually circled back to Tatooine. He had made inroads with the Hutt crime organization and played a dangerous game as a double agent for Lady Valerian, who was a competing crime boss based in Mos Eisley, and the prefect Eugene Talmont, the Imperial installed governor. While all of his sketchy dealings were going on, he was actually staying close by knowing that it would only be a matter of time before Solo was brought in and he could feed on one of his targets that got away. When Boba Fett brought Solo, Jerriko started doing whatever the Anzani equivalent of salivating was. Fate would intervene once again, and once again it would involve Luke Skywalker.
Sucks, man. It's like they wrote the original story and they were like, how do we write this guy into the story without him actually affecting the actual story? Oh, the story that's happening is going to go completely wrong for him every step of the way. He's just behind the scenes trying to get a meal, and the movie just fucks everything up for him. I love it.
Rescue
I love
was
that kind of
pulled off
writing.
and Jabba was dead, along with a bunch of his henchmen. Not only did he miss again what was sure to be a satisfying meal, but he lost one of his key employers in the process. This was all he could take. His cool and calculating persona faltered, and the monstrous vampiric hunter took over. He went on a bloody rampage inside of Jabba's palace, killing henchmen and servants, not being choosy.
Let me guess, this is going to be his downfall. Yeah, he crashed out, and it's going to destroy him.
At all, and he fed on every single one of them. By the time some level of control was exerted over the palace, many were dead and Jerriko had fled the planet. The tables were turned now. The hunter was the hunted. A massive bounty was placed on his head, getting the attention of the galaxy's best bounty hunters, including Boba Fett. Unfortunately for us, there is not a
it was just a matter of time before all the bounty hunters go after him. And
definitive ending to his story.
Yet, we need an ending to this. We need an ending. This is badass. This is probably one of the coolest stories. This would be a really good thing to do.
I would love to see Fett go toe-to-toe with a immortal vampire assassin. There are rumors of Jerriko in the galaxy as hunters continue to pursue him. These rumors persist into the era of the new...
Like, this is so cool that there could be a whole movie based on this guy. Like, yeah, I want this. I want this to happen. Or even a show.
Public. Luke Skywalker comes across the name Dannik Jerriko, spelled differently but quite similar, as a hint to Jerriko still being at large in ABY-12. Given his semi-immortal nature, if Jerriko could get his baser instincts under control, he could outlive his pursuers and continue feeding. With his story and much of the Anzadi details existing only in Legends, this was a really fun...
Let's get a story where that does happen, where he outages his pursuers and like that maybe even 1,000 years in the future from where the current, like, what is it? What did he say? Year 12? Yeah, maybe 1,012. We get a story about him and like what's going on in the universe at that time. That'd be so cool, man.
An imaginative entry into the Star Wars expanded universe. As with all things, if there's nothing to contradict it, I take it as the truth. In the mid-1970s, George Lucas wanted the cantina scene to blow people's minds with the amount of bizarre creatures they would see. Many of the creatures were repurposed costumes and masks that were kit-bashed into new designs. Makeup artist Stuart Freeborn and legendary creator Rick Baker would create some amazing designs to fill out the scene. Jerriko was one of the repurposed creations. He was made from a gaunt, hollow-eyed mask and given a simple but sharp wardrobe. The hookah pipe added an air of mystery and some background intrigue to the scene. His story first came to life in 1995 when Jennifer Robertson wrote Soups On, the Pipe Smoker's Tale for the anthology book Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina. This made his name known,
cool.
his species
Dude,
being...
I think the 90s was probably the best time. 90s and early 2000s was the best time for Star Wars content that wasn't the movies. Like all the side content, so good.
...non-human and the vampiric, immortal nature of this predator. Expanded Universe fans loved the additions. He got more attention in a West End Games RPG supplement, the Tales from Jabba's Palace anthology, and a middle reader Galaxy of Fear story. He was even immortalized in various action figures. Check out this transmission next for more interesting stories originating from the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Dude, yeah, check this guy out. He's awesome. He's got a lot of cool Star Wars content. I just found him. I love Star Wars. Star Wars is awesome. I don't like the Disney stuff. Disney stuff, get that shit out of here. Everything else, I'm cool with. Especially the what is it called? The extended universe, expanded universe that happened in like the 90s and 2000s. All of that stuff, I fucking love it. And I'm definitely going to go back and consume a lot of that content. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for all notifications if you want to see me react to more content like this. See you in the next one.